Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We are live back in the flesh, International Week, hence why Cam is wearing a River Plate top. But anyways, we've got a lot to discuss in very much short amount of time. So let's get into it. To set the scene, England are shit.
Facts. I ain't even upset.
Agreed.
About it. But yeah,
Agreed?
yeah, agreed.
Cool. Poor result. Poor result. Very poor result. But what I wanted to pick up on was someone that's been an integral part of the England camp for the last few years was not in the squad, and Roy Keane believes that he will no longer be part of the squad, and that is Dele Alli. Question I want to ask is, Dele Alli, what's happened to him? Has he peaked too early? Are we seeing the demise of Dele Alli? Is it just injuries? Will he come back? The streets need to know what's going on, because this is someone that was one of the hottest prospects in Europe at one point. Would you
Yeah.
as a Spurs fan, you could
Definitely,
say that.
yeah.
And it just, something seems to have
Gone missing over the last year.
Something's
or so,
happened.
Yeah.
Something's
And
happened.
to be honest, I think people have over the last 6 months to a year, we've probably seen people question, where's Dele Alli? What's happened? Is he missing form? And I just think he's just been unlucky, to be honest. It's one of those where he's had 4 hamstring injuries in the last 18 months. I think missing 4-6 weeks at a time. And
Man, I'm not stretching properly.
hey, it is maybe too many. I don't know.
Potch warm up.
Apparently, no, but apparently I've even read somewhere this week he's got new dietitian and nutritionist. Maybe it's what you eat, as they say, you are what you eat.
What it says.
Maybe, I don't know, eating too much something.
To be fair, that's random, but Defoe said that he went vegan one time and then he stopped getting injuries.
Yeah,
So
we'll
maybe
see.
I
We'll
can
see how it
stop
works.
this vegan
Because I thought
What, this Dr. Sebi thing, they need to stop it.
Yeah. That for me is just, it's a trend, bruv. It's, I don't know what they're on, but
But
I think he's been unlucky with injuries, and that hasn't allowed him to get the consistency. Especially, we know like the hamstring injury is one of them injuries where once it starts to go, you don't really recover that type of thing. So to say, I think at 23, has he peaked too early? It's kind of mad for me. I think there's still room for him to improve, come back, but he definitely, for me, needs to mold and start adapting his game now. I think he's shown very early on what he can do. He can get goals, he can get forward.
the second striker thing.
100%. So he's shown he can do that properly. But now, can you add more to that to your game?
And it's great you
especially
say
with
that.
the injuries, you might now have to actually stop them third man runs and
yeah.
running
I
into the
remember
boxes and play more
Myself
on
and
the
Cam,
ball.
We're asking you and saying that we've never seen Dele Alli control the midfield. We've never seen him control the centre midfield. If you look at England, if you look at the England squad,
Yeah.
it's clear to see that there are midfield places up for grabs. Is that a stretch?
Yeah.
Or is that right?
Especially in the central midfield, yeah.
100%. But we've argued it and we said that anytime we've seen him have to do it, he cannot. Then to bring in another argument into this, if you look at what's going on with your club at the moment, with Pochettino and everything, and the formation's changing all the time, yes, if Dele Alli is in form, he starts. But this second striker position, is Poch always going to play away just to make that
And
fit?
I'll be honest with you, and that's where I'm saying I don't think, aside from maybe in England, I don't think he's had to control the midfield by himself. He's always had Eriksen kind of dictating the play at Tottenham. And in England, he doesn't have that. Yeah. And for him having never played that role prior to, at Spurs, the entire time he's been there, he's played almost like a second striker. Yeah. To all of a sudden tell him now, take lead of your country and play that number 8 role like Gerrard or Lampard did. I think that's difficult, especially at 21, 22 or whatever. Can he develop that? I think he can. He's shown he's got enough neat little flicks and touches and he can dribble. So we'll see. But I wouldn't say write him off anyway. I think he's still got time on his side. It's just a matter of can he get over the injuries for me.
For me, like, the way I look at it is when Roy Keane said that he shouldn't, like, him and Lingard might be done, whatever, for England. I agree, to be honest, because Dele Alli has been absolutely awful for England anyway. So England don't necessarily need Dele Alli. Like, what I used to say is, obviously, as you just touched on with the positions, the second striker thing, England don't have it. And then he's been exposed. He scored 3 goals in 37 games for England. And the only thing that we used to get from Dele Alli is goals and assists.
But
so if you're not offering that for England... No, yeah, exactly. So if he's going to play a deeper role, he can't do it well. I've seen Dele Alli play 37 times for England, and there's only been one time I've been impressed with Dele Alli for England. That was against Germany in a friendly. He was cold. Other than that, the guy's been awful for England. So I don't think it's a loss. And I'm a fan of Dele Alli in that second striker role because I love when guys just bag goals.
Get
If he's a
involved,
midfielder, I used to look at him and think, right, this guy might be some mixed race Lampard or something, yeah. But now he's like he is unfortunate with injuries. Let's not get that wrong. He is, and I think people are writing him off a bit too quickly. But as you said, he needs to reinvent his game. But for England don't need Dele Alli.
Tell you what though.
I think he gives another option. Put it that way.
He gives something.
To definitely having a squad, I would say you must.
I'd have him in a squad over Lingard. Lingard should never.
I would say, is he a guaranteed starter right now? Hell no.
But if you look at Ali, like what we're talking about in general, right? This is someone that played a ridiculous amount of football from a young age. MK Dons came to Tottenham, played season after season after season. Yeah. He's getting injuries now. He's 23. 23 getting injuries now. Getting injuries early, now, especially when you've come off that rich, like that wasn't good form. That was him performing.
Young player of the year.
Exactly. Listen, that's not like good form. That's
for me,
his
it was
level.
Good consistency. Yeah.
Exactly. Like he's shown that he can do it. To be getting such injuries now, I genuinely don't know what happens now. Given I think his situation basically relies a lot on Poch. If I'm being very honest, because ultimately, if he comes back in the squad and Poch is still doing this whole formation change and whatnot,
100%. Yeah.
He doesn't fit in somewhere. If you look at top clubs. What other top club plays a second striker, plays a position that Dele Alli could probably, go
There's
and
only
throw
a few
shows with?
players in the world that are kind of in that mold.
Have a specific
you've
role
got
like
Muller,
that, yeah.
You've got Griezmann, you've got Ali.
And they play within a system.
I'm happy you mentioned Muller, because what happened to Muller over the last few years for him?
He's been
when he was amazing,
slowly
he was sick.
shifted
Afterwards,
out,
when people realised that, you know what, you can't give us this at that pace anymore, phased out.
And the thing is, that was always a question on Muller. But it was always a question like, Muller's clinical always, yeah. And Ali was quite clinical as well. But there was always that question mark on their overall gameplay. And you're slowly going to start seeing it. And to me,
the one thing I'll give Muller though is that Muller at some point was actually playing. They actually pushed him
banging at the World Cup as well, man.
We're not taking anything away. We're just saying in terms of if you looked at his career, it was always kind of you're not out and out striker. Yeah, you're kind of the second striker, but we've been able to deploy you in strike. I don't see. You're saying that he needs to add more into his game. We haven't seen anything from Ali in the centre of midfield. We've seen at MK Dons, but that's a different level. At the top level, I've not seen anything from him in the centre mid.
I would say second leg Champions League against Ajax last year when he had to drop deeper in midfield. I think
good game.
I think he had a wicked game that time. He had 2 assists to assist Lucas Moura. So I think there've been glimpses.
Yeah.
Maybe not to say he can dictate the midfield or whatever, but I think he can grow into.
You had to
go and win the game.
100%. 100%.
So that urgency and stuff is there. You know what I'm trying to say?
Now he's got that pressure. I mean, when was the last time we actually saw Dele Alli play 5 games in a row? Like, literally, 100%. We haven't seen him get that consistency, run a game to say he's actually on bad form. The only thing is we just haven't seen Dele Alli, literally. So
in his defense, Spurs, when Spurs were at their very best,
he was at his best.
Dele Alli
was at his best,
and Kane were the
top dogs, yeah.
You know what I mean? 100%. So Poch doing all of these formation changes and stuff, maybe he needs to just go back to the drawing board, go back to the basics. I think get Ali back in his best position, and let's see what happens.
Get back to the 4-2-3-1 for me, and stop Harry Kane doing these pointless runs. Have him just scoring goals. Let Ali, let Son, let Moura, let those guys float around him and do their job.
But here in that you have Spurs' issue almost, because it's kind of okay, we need to squeeze this player in, that player in. We've made big signings, but I don't personally, for me, I wouldn't say he's peaked too early. I just think that.
But one more season like this in terms of injuries, and when you do come back, not really putting stuff down, Spurs might have to look to start looking at
alternatives.
So you know
I think that's part of the reason why Lo Celso's even coming.
Football moves very quickly. You would never.
For me, it works both ways. It works both ways. I think for him, ultimately, we said in terms of players that could leave Spurs and go anywhere.
Yeah,
he's still young, but ultimately, I don't know what team he could go in and implement his philosophy. Yeah. It sounds really crazy, but if you look at potentially United, if they were doing a rebuild,
get the hell out of here, man.
If United were doing a rebuild,
they'd snap him up.
You wouldn't take Dele Alli.
They would take him all day.
We're not taking Spurs as rejects, bro. Let's behave, fam. What the hell? Spurs
you were taking
player out, Man United take him with our hands out. You're mad. You're mad. If we're taking anyone,
that's what it's come to.
We're taking the ones that you want. That's the difference. That's the if we want. If we want to take a player,
this summer,
Bruno, give us Dele Alli like some charity.
No, what I'm saying is, if Dele Alli wanted to move,
it's not Manchester United he's coming to, mate.
I'm saying would United look? I'm not saying he would go.
United.
Bro,
I
you
don't-
don't want
maybe-
to get his
maybe-
hands
maybe-
long.
Like, yeah,
maybe-
it's
nah, bro, he's not gonna. Dele Alli would
Listen,
drown.
listen.
Dele Alli would drown.
One
in Man
Pogba goes.
United.
One Pogba goes.
No, he might, but you
Drown.
would love to
We
sign
would
him.
we won't
love
take
him.
him.
United fans
Young
would be
English
like,
talent. English talent.
No,
exactly.
we
Him,
won't take him.
McTominay, long.
I'm telling you.
No way.
You lot just doing some imagination
On the
stuff.
real though, I feel that with his career, I think it's a lot of the Spurs players actually. It depends on what happens in the next few months.
Yeah, I
These
think
players
this
may
year,
have to
this
look
year
for
is a
another club.
deciding
In
year
the
for a lot of man.
Euro 2020 is coming up. I hope Dele Alli does not start for England, man. Just as simple
Boy.
as that. There's
So
other
now-
players that are coming through. There's Maddison, there's Mount. They're ahead of him at the moment. I don't want to see Ali play for England, man. I'm not gonna lie. Well,
In
to start for
2
England,
weeks now,
nah, I
you
don't want to
said
see
no
start.
Ali
Maybe
and no Kane.
like off the bench. Maybe
don't
off
want
the
England
bench,
to
he
win.
can come and do his thing, but to start, I'm alright, man. Personally,
Nah, that's fair.
That's
Maybe
my
not
opinion.
start. Alright.
Another Premier League players, superstars. Auba has picked up, or Aubameyang has picked up Player of the Month. I think it was 5 goals in 4 games, which has led to a lot of speculation about his goal scoring record in general since he's been playing from St Etienne days, where he became serious.
Bad boy.
And a lot of people are saying that where does he rank in world football in terms of top strikers? Some people are saying that he may be the top striker in world football at the moment.
Top, what, number 1?
There's murmurings that he may be number 1.
Fam, some Arsenal fans don't even think he's Arsenal's best striker.
No, 100%.
Best in the world.
But
so.
What they say, Martinelli.
But people think.
I know Arsenal
people
fans have
think-
been. What they call him? The next Ronaldo or something. Some of them were saying.
Next name, all of this stuff.
People think Lacazette. Some people think Lacazette is better than Auba. Now he's
There was
the
a
best
story that
striker in the
Lacazette
world.
was going to get sold to to
I told
Russia.
you.
St.
I
Petersburg.
said
Yo,
Arsenal should sell him.
that's
I said
mad,
Arsenal
yeah.
should sell him.
They
Trying
get
to offload him.
they get Champions League ball, innit?
You were saying it last season, though. I can't lie to you. You saying Lacazette.
What? That they should sell him? I'm telling you, fam. They should sell
But
him.
who's our top 5 strikers? Is Auba, like, first and foremost, is Auba in the top 5 strikers in the world?
I think
No.
he's 5th at best. I would say. Like, there's an argument
Yeah,
for him
best.
to be 5th, maybe. But I would say
As
there's
in-
4 clear players. I would say that are
Go on.
ahead of him. Lewandowski's number 1. Aguero. Kane. And then
Kane is not a top 5 striker in the world. What the hell?
Go on, let me
and
go.
then
Guys, he was top
Benzema.
3.
And then Benzema.
So yours is Benzema.
Suarez as well, actually. Take Kane out, put Suarez, actually, yeah.
So you'd have Suarez over him, Benzema,
Yeah. Aguero and Lewandowski.
I've
Yeah.
got Lewandowski, I've got Benzema, Mbappe, Aguero, and Suarez.
Mbappe.
Mbappe last season
I'm
up
not
front
doing them
alone.
wingers.
Up front
I'm
alone
talking number
without
9s.
Bro, up front Cavani and Neymar were
They
injured.
were
last
injured. He
season.
played up front last season.
Put 39 goals down.
Okay,
mate.
that's
He
fair.
played up
That's
front.
You know
fair.
what I'm trying to say? So
Okay.
Who's yours?
I mean,
Nah,
I've got
then
Lewin-
in that
Lewin-
if you're adding him, then nah, he's definitely making top 5.
Lewin, Benzema. We say? Man said
No.
Calvert Lewin.
What's wrong with the
that
man,
DM, you know. No way. Nah.
Lewandowski.
I got Lewandowski, bro. He scored in every game. He scored in every competitive game,
Game
this
this season,
season
100%.
for Bayern
Bad
Munich.
boy.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And
Do you know what the
people
thing-
will say? People will
Do you
say.
know why? Do you know what? Do you know why people won't give? Do you know why people won't give Lewandowski his flowers and whatnot? It's because ultimately, let's be real, yeah. How many man them are waking up to watch Bayern Munich versus Augsburg?
Yeah,
They're only seeing him in Champions League. We do it
but
because we're
that's that
interested.
English mentality.
No, no, no,
Every
no,
Sunday
That's that
morning.
English
I'm
arrogance,
explaining.
fam.
Friday.
This league's not that good.
I'm explaining. That's why.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, if you do that, you do the education.
Bro,
the guy's a killer.
He is a
He's a
top
stone
striker. And he
cold
has been
killer.
for
Listen,
so long.
Him
Consistently.
and Harry Kane were on the same pitch the other day, and I'm sorry, there was only one looked world class, and the other one looked absolutely horrible. So there is a level between
100%.
Lewandowski and Harry Kane.
Right now.
So to put Harry Kane in the top 5,
Harry Kane's not there for me.
he's not a
Listen,
top 5.
arguably,
No,
nah.
listen. Let me get into it. Look,
Who's your number one?
At the moment, I'll go Lewin because
your number one?
Probably because last season he scored about 40 something goals.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he scored 40 goals. He's got over 50 goals in Champions League. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He's scored every game this season, taken it into the Champions League, dominated Spurs. He's a top striker at this present moment. I know Aguero's on. I mean, I know Aubameyang's on top form, but it's not enough for me. Like, Aubameyang hasn't displayed his talents on the highest level for me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? At Dortmund, he was okay in the Champions League. He was all right. in Arsenal, he hasn't even played Champions League football. I'm not having all these.
That's the
I'm not
issue
even
for
having
me,
all
yeah.
these. I'm not having all these top strikers are best in the world, and you haven't played Champions League football. That's dead.
How
I'm
many
sorry.
did he score in the Europa again? Like 11.
He scored like 8 goals in the Europa. Like, come
okay.
on, man. Put
Giroud will stop scoring.
in a competition that Giroud is top scorer, I should start getting excited. Nah, come on, man. We got to start respecting the other leagues. It's only because everyone thinks everyone has this fixation on the Premier League.
Cardi ahead of who?
No. Cardi's stock has dropped, man.
Yeah.
Cardi, no.
Everyone has
Someone
return this year,
Someone
watch.
we're not mentioning. How would you rate between Cavani and Auba? Out of interest.
Cavani's been injured quite a bit lately.
That's the thing.
No,
yeah,
no,
the
but
last year
I'd
or
probably
so,
still have him over Aubameyang anyway, to be honest. Like, I rate Aubameyang, yeah. He's doing his thing. And
I'd have Icardi over Cavani though all day.
What? No way.
Like Icardi is a goal getter.
So is Cavani, fam.
Like, no, at a different level. Like Icardi scores on every occasion.
Has Icardi really played Champions League football like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
And
he has scored all the
bang it?
time, every time.
What,
Last season he scored against
because he done
Barcelona.
Spurs in, yeah? Man, people are getting their straps off
Wait,
Spurs.
you both have like Lewandowski there. No argument.
Lewandowski's undisputed number
argument.
1, yeah, and for me, Aguero number 2.
I feel like I could argue Suarez. I feel like I could.
Suarez isn't the best.
I feel like I
no,
could.
you saw the Champions League goals and it made you.
No. Honestly, I feel like I could.
Suarez's Champions League record over the last 2 to 3 years.
No, the
it's
Champions
not great.
the Champions League record
It's
is
not
the
great.
black mark.
Yeah.
But I feel like
At
if
least
we're
he's playing
talking-
Champions League football, bro.
If we're
No, he
talking
is, he
strikers,
is.
I feel like I could make an argument that Suarez is possibly the best striker in the world.
No.
What does he not
Because
do? What does he not offer
You're
you?
basing that off catalogue.
No. But
Yeah,
what
I'd
does he not
agree.
offer
You
you?
can't say that right now. I wouldn't say.
No, I'm not saying you're talking about in terms of form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of not take away the form of the Lewandowski scoring every
Yeah.
goal. I'm saying if you were to pick a striker, I could argue that Suarez is the better striker in terms of.
I think
I could argue
Like,
Lewandowski's got a better heading ability. He's got a better.
Suarez scores headers.
Suarez
He's
has
better
got
as a
the whole
target man, you
package,
can play
but
for.
like,
Suarez scores headers.
we can't lie that Suarez is kind of slowing down. But Suarez
is, no,
slowing
100%
down,
slowing
Suarez slowing down, still scored 21 league goals.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
and Aubameyang got 22 league goals. So I mean that means if he's slowing down, he's still reaching the same level
And
as
Aubameyang is what,
Aubameyang.
31 now as
He's
well.
30. Yeah, he's 30. Like for me, it's not only just about the goals as well. Like obviously he's scoring goals. Every striker that I named, their link-up play is much better than Aubameyang. Aubameyang can go games, which is good. He'll put the
Who
ball in
said
the back
it?
of net, but then he's not done anything.
Arsenal
in
legend,
link-up
But
play.
then this
Legend,
season,
no,
I
no,
will
no.
say,
There's
I
an Arsenal
think he's
former
scoring
Arsenal-
6 games
former
where
Arsenal
scored
player.
3 of them. He scored winners.
Yeah.
3 of them.
You
He's
gotta
got the
respect that.
equaliser.
But
Like you've
after
got
all
to
of that,
respect what
I
he's
can't-
done this
who
year.
is it? There was one of these Arsenal players. He basically said that it's great that it's scoring goals.
Yeah.
But we need to see more from you.
I don't
Who
know,
said that?
man. I think he's
remember.
getting the
It's one
goals
of
and
these
now
Arsenal
he's getting
guys that was on
deciders.
TV.
If he
Ma-
carries his
Kewn.
form on,
Kewn
we've
said
got to start putting him in that debate. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I
for
mean,
me,
No,
till
so-
they get in the Champions League and he
Wait,
starts.
if he continues his goal scoring form.
Yeah.
the way
So
I see
this
it-
is where I think that that's technically not correct because we've just said that Harry Kane's not in this. Harry Kane was been in.
No.
rich
You
form.
lot said that.
No, but when you put Mbappe in, you kicked Harry Kane out.
I don't know, man.
So
Mbappe's in there.
Harry
Harry
Kane's
Kane's
top
6.
five
Cool.
strikers in the world,
Harry
and
Kane's
football's
6.
going
Harry
to
Kane's
tits,
6.
mate.
Cool.
honestly,
So-
Say your point. Say your
so
point.
Kane's ahead of Auba for you.
they're the same level.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Start,
I'd put Kane ahead of Auba.
About
I'd
5
put Kane
weeks
ahead of
ago,
Auba.
was it 5 weeks ago? I was like, Kane clears Aubameyang. Listen,
Nah, this season it's been a slow start.
Let's
What's
rule
that-
that
what's
back
It's been
in.
a slow start
What
this
does
year.
that-
Scoring a lot of penalties, not involved in play a lot, but we'll see.
Listen,
I
for
think
me-
end of the season, Harry Kane will come good.
For me,
He
yeah,
has
the
to.
thing that everyone will say is like when they watch this or whatever is that Aubameyang plays for the weakest team out of all of them, yeah, which is fair enough, and he's putting up similar numbers to them, right? But all the Aubameyang's played for Dortmund, he's played for Arsenal, which are 2 not really top clubs, yeah, and he's done well. But the thing is, we can't now just be doing imagination of, okay, so imagine Aubameyang with KDB behind him and stuff, because that's what people's argument is when it comes to like Aguero and all that stuff. And in that same metric, I can use Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy's putting down 18 league goals, 20 league goals the season before, playing for Leicester. So now, all right, so if Jamie Vardy... Now, should I start saying if Jamie Vardy plays for Arsenal, he's going to score 26 league goals, or if he plays for Barcelona? So I don't want to hear that argument about Aubameyang plays for a weaker team. So did it? Some people have gone to bigger teams and flopped. Lukaku went to Man United and didn't put the same numbers down
Morata.
to Everton. Morata was playing for a better team there anyway. But
No, but in general, Morata's gone to.
yeah, but you get what I'm trying to say. So we have to take it at face value, and at face value, I think them players are above him. They're above him at the moment. They've got the history. They've done it in the Champions League. I can name iconic moments from all of them. I can't name one iconic moment from Aubameyang.
You see that point there is the big point for me, because if I can read that Auba stats you hear, and you say they look impressive. So what? Bundesliga.
You still call him a stat padder?
Who?
Aubameyang. Would you still call him that now?
Season,
so Bundesliga, right? Appearances.
So far he's doing well. He's doing well to dispel it, but
appearances 144,
sure
goals 98. That's a good return. League on, he was WAS. Premier League 57 appearances, 39 goals. Like, he's proven that he can score goals. But when it comes to iconic moments or those things, and that's why when you bring it to this whole debate at the moment with the whole Drogba thing, when you look at Drogba's stats, they won't show us prolific, but you can name every single moment where Drogba's turned up and disgraced people and made sure he win trophies, and that is the difference.
And this is what's going to happen.
Scoring goals is great. It's like the same thing with like people that get assists. Like, you can get loads of assists, but if it's just that little person one, it needs to be iconic. You need to show that you know what.
It's got to have an actual difference.
There's got to be something behind it, and that's why Lewandowski has to go. With Lewandowski, it's even hard as well, because you're winning the league and whatnot, but the Champions League,
it's over 50 goals in the Champions League, man.
That's the thing. For me, he's put up the numbers in the Champions League, even though he's never won it.
That's the one that's saving him.
The reason why people sleep on players like Lewin and they sleep on Benzema's and stuff is because this English mentality where we think one goal in the Premier League equals five in another country. Yeah. That's the way people think. And I'm so happy that he came to Spurs. And not even trying to diss, but I'm happy he came and he schooled you guys. I'm happy.
And I think Benzema as well over the last since Ronaldo was left has been getting more shine. But prior to Ronaldo leaving, I wouldn't have put Benzema in the top 5 or anywhere near it.
Prior to Ronaldo,
but since leaving, I actually think he's gotten older and gotten better. It's weird.
No, I think
with more responsibility.
I don't know how they're not
with this Ronaldo thing, right? It's a thing where ultimately, when you have someone that is Ronaldo, it's like if you look at any top whatever sport it is, when you have someone that's there, you're gonna overshadow everything else that's going. Benzema was still doing work. Yeah, he had that season where he put 5 goals.
That's poor.
But take that away, he was still doing stuff.
He had a couple of bad seasons.
You can look at Suarez and say
that's
Suarez.
debatable.
It's debate. You can say look at with Suarez with Messi. There's been seasons where that Champions League he offered nothing in the campaign. Messi did everything. But because when you have one big player, any sport, if someone's
got to take
someone's got to take
especially if the team are going through moments where they need someone to stand up,
sacrifice.
They're not looking for Benzema. They're looking to put them crosses in for Ronaldo. Like, didn't you see when Juventus played?
He's got to do the decoy runs.
Atletico Madrid. And Ronaldo scored the hat-trick for Juve.
Yeah. They were giving them the ball
just
constantly.
It
was like, listen, this is your moment. And if you think about it as well, those moments are made for that big person.
That's true.
Think about every time where Gareth Bale showed up Ronaldo, right? It was sick, but it's kind of like Ronaldo was there. Like,
you're not supposed to do that.
Exactly.
Type of thing. I feel like that's why Madrid fans hate him a little.
No, 100%. Gareth Bale, because he took moments.
Because he took moments from Ronaldo.
Took moments away from Ronaldo.
Why?
I mean, we can give Auba his respect about being a top goal scorer. But top 5 in the world, I think you just got to do a little bit more, have a little bit more.
I agree with that.
Catalogue. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he can go and do his thing again this season, and we'll see. But I ain't putting him in the top 5. Can never lie.
Top 5 one day.
We'll see. Can Tammy Abraham?
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. You see his debut. Did you see his debut yesterday? I mean,
he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
He shouldn't have done that. But the way Harry Kane's playing, you never know. Harry Kane for England.
You mean captain, leader, legend.
Continue. Anyway, we've spoken a little bit about Champions League in terms of the importance of Lewandowski's goals, but something else I want to discuss about Champions League is Jurgen Klopp. So at the end of this season, I believe it'll be 4.5 seasons he's been in the UK, managing Liverpool. If he's not to win another trophy this season, it'll be 4.5 years just that Champions League.
Great job. So he's won the best trophy that you could win in club football, basically, and got to the final twice. Changed how an entire club plays, brought in brilliant signings, and changed everything around the club. Not bad. Put it this way: if anybody says he's a failure after that because of he's got one trophy, like if he adds 3 Carling Cups to that, what difference does it make? If he adds 4 FA Cups to that, what difference does it make? He got the Champions League. That's what matters, and the fact that now Liverpool are regularly competing for the league as well, they're in good hands.
I have to put my hands up. I think it was last season when we were doing stoppage time and whatnot. I said that Klopp could potentially look like a fraud. Early days, because he spent a lot of money.
Not just you.
Yeah, I think
there was other criminals as well.
I think I think he did still, but
it's fine. That's been. Man, them are bringing.
No.
Man, them bring things up that I conceded a long time ago. I said it time ago. I was like, yeah, I was wrong.
To remind.
But River Plate, man. What's going on? Back your team, back your team. But if you look at it, right? If you look at the squad that he came in with, that he had initially,
I've seen that team sheet,
and what he's transitioned it into now, I always think that a mark of a great person, right, is someone that takes it to someone, and if they leave, that can still continue.
Yeah,
I reckon if he was to leave now, Liverpool would still be in a great place for another 3-4 years with what he's built up. The average age of that squad is perfect. The front
23, 24,
Front three look great. No one looks like they want to leave. If they were gonna leave, they'll probably go to big. They will go to bigger and better clubs.
Yeah.
But even that now, why would you leave Liverpool? I just feel that he's one of those persons. People again in history may not favour him more because you have one of the best sides in football.
Yeah.
And you're going against one of the other best sides in football with a maniac who's managing that team. Ultimately, if he wasn't to win it, I wouldn't say it's no fault of his own. Premier League last year was. Unfortunate.
He's got the second best points tally in Premier League history.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't win on that.
And
it's
then
like
fan of the Champions League
back to back.
It's not. Again, I'm not digging out Spurs. It's not like Pochettino, where Pochettino's is kind of like a nearly man. Like kind of.
Yeah.
This is kind of you've been there.
This is how you do it.
You've actually been bumped. Yeah. Like you've actually not been bumped, but you've actually been robbed of it almost. But I still think that they need to win the league.
Yeah,
I feel like they need to win the league
this season. They must.
I feel like they have to.
No, 100%.
It's imperative.
100%,
they must.
Yeah.
They must.
Whatever happens, Klopp hasn't failed. Yeah?
He hasn't.
So whatever with 4.5 seasons, I don't care, 5 seasons, whatever. He's done a great job. If he's failed, I want to see what every other manager's CV. So, but not even just that. You can have failures in there. It doesn't mean he's failed. If Liverpool don't win the league this season, that's a massive failure. I'm sorry, you can't bottle this again. You can't bottle this again. They've put themselves in a position, credit to Klopp's work, credit to all of that, whatever. Yeah. But if you bottle this again, then you can put black marks on things. You can't tell me that he's a failure. You can, as you say, Pep might not win a Champions League.
I was about to ask.
You can say.
I was about to.
Wait. You can say it's a black mark, but there's no way you can ever leave and say Pep failed at City.
What would be?
What would be
a bigger? Hypothetically, what would be a bigger black mark? Guardiola not winning Champions League, or Klopp not winning the Premier League? What would be the bigger black mark?
I would say City not winning, Pep not winning the Champions League because of the money and the squad he's had available to him for so long. Whereas Liverpool they've now just climbed to this level now.
Yeah.
And the league, we've only really started to expect it from them for the last year or two. I'm sorry, but Pep, we've been waiting for this. So I would say it's more
that Liverpool should be winning the league or competing. It's not how similar is that to City
I don't know. It's close. It's close. I'm not saying it's a given.
In a Champions League, look, the difference is in a Champions League, it's 2 games. Yeah, it's knockout
football.
It's knockout football. You can lose on away goals, like little things like that. In the Premier League, it's about consistency and how good you are. They've been ahead of City. They've had the opportunity. Last season, they were 10 points clear at one point, and they bottled it. So again, if it happens again, of course, that's a bigger failure than Pep not winning the Champions League.
The Premier League,
you're putting yourself in the correct position. If Pep now went 3-0 up in each Champions League fixture and then kept losing, then I'll be like, all right, cool. But it's not like that.
The reason why it's the Premier League for me.
City have also had like easier draws for them. If you look at the last couple of Champions League rounds, and it's like favourable rounds. Was it Monaco, Spurs? Like they've had teams that they should have been beaten, and it's like I don't know. At what point do you know what?
Do you know why the Premier League would be harder for me, right? Is because if you look at tournament football,
I can see it. Though,
tournament football is literally Liverpool lost 3 away games last season. They lost 2 of their 4 away games again in the knockout stage. They still went to go win the Champions League. Like it's kind of you can allow something to kind of give and still get the big cherry on top, as it were. Whereas with the Premier League, that's a lot of games. That is a campaign. If you think about it, right, you are literally cups are additional. You are competing for the league. That's what everyone's going for. There's so much pressure there that is like, you know, if you're in a situation where you're that many points ahead and you let that slide, that is criminal. The thing is, once bitten, twice shy. It happened last year. It can't happen again. They cannot, like, what would he say if they let this league go again?
There's nothing you can. There's nothing.
There's
you
no
can
excuse.
say.
There's
there
nothing.
ain't. There ain't.
There's
There
actually
ain't.
nothing.
There actually
Whereas
ain't.
with the Champions League, you can say a bunch of things. You know what? We came off a tough game and whatever it was.
City can't. I don't know. City got to the semi-finals last year. I don't think they can use that anymore. Like, we now have to start looking at City like the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids. They want to be treated like that, and we want to be saying they're the best team in Europe and they're the best team. When they fail to make the Champions League semi-final, it should be looked at like, what's going on here?
100%.
We should be looking at Pep like, yo, what is going on? You've got the best team in the world. You've got all the funds available to you, but you're still not getting past.
Do you know what another mad factor is though?
That's
as well?
embarrassing.
Do you know what another mad factor as well? In the Premier League, realistically, there's only 2 teams challenging. There's only 2 teams. So if Liverpool were to give this up and City won, it's kind of like, right, you a head start. In the Champions League, PSG have to win it. Real Madrid have to win it. Bayern Munich have to win it. There's like 4 or 5 teams that have to win this.
Bayern
And they
Madrid,
probably
not so
won't.
much.
Liverpool probably
I'd
live
say
again.
Bayern and Madrid are just restarting projects.
No, I would say Bayern Munich. They're in a situation where for them it's kind of like it's integral that
that's what they
we
want.
have. They want to do it.
Yeah.
They've
No,
not had
I
it
hear
for
what you're
so
saying.
long,
I
so
hear
they
what
wanna
you're
do
saying.
it.
Yeah.
PSG's whole product is
that,
to do
yeah.
it. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't have Jordan Kitts and not have a Champions League. It doesn't make sense. City are the same thing. You mentioned Juve. The whole point of getting Ronaldo was to do it. So what you need to get?
Yeah, I need to get one of the Jordan
point
Kitts
is
still. Yeah.
those teams are friend. All of the cash they're friend is to do that. So if Guardiola doesn't manage to do it, not that I can give it a blind side, I can say, you know what?
No, I hear it.
It's
I
a
hear
bit
it.
mad.
I hear it.
If Jurgen Klopp lets this go,
Yeah,
you say that, but if Klopp wins the Prem with Liverpool, he's the best manager in the world, man. If he wins it, he's the best. You have to give credit. The best
currently,
yes,
not all time or whatever.
If City don't win the Champions League, but if Pep if Pep wins Champions League, he's the best manager. But if continues, but if Klopp wins the Prem with Liverpool,
can I ask you a question? Not some being fickle,
world.
but because we actually didn't rank it last time, so you're saying that Guardiola's number 1.
Yeah, and Klopp second.
And whoever's third and fourth.
Forget them, man.
Cool.
They're scrubs.
And on that bombshell.
Actually, they're not scrubs.
Conte's not scrubs.
You don't want that to come back to mine
Conte's a big man, you know. Because when Ole gets sacked, you got to be looking for the managers. You get me? But listen, that's another episode. Make sure you're following, subscribing, all of that type of stuff. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, which is 360 TV, and that's it. We're out, man.